Hey guys, just a reminder, this is not official medical advice. For such, please seek an appointment with a licensed medical provider.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Explain This. I'm with the star of the show, Robin Riddle. Robin, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am wonderful. I had such a good time with you guys on Saturday. We had our annual provider conference. You gave a fantastic presentation to the rest of the team. I think we're going to do a similar Explain This at some point.
Yeah.
On some of those topics that you addressed with the team. But and we got a little pickleball in,
Got some pickleball. My first
Yes.
time playing.
Yes.
Wasn't great. Wasn't awful. I'll
Oh,
get
come
there.
on. Oh, come on. You guys were incredible. I have a feeling that that you and Aaron are going to be top in your neighborhood very soon.
That's the goal. We're just a tad competitive, so we got to be the best, right?
Yes. I need to come watch some of these just so I can witness it because
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I know Aaron and you well, and I wouldn't want to play you guys, first round, second round.
Yeah.
I think it would be some trouble for me.
If
Um,
one of us didn't end up injured first, he loves to
yes,
throw his back out doing everything. So,
we, we got it. We got to keep Aaron healthy.
Yeah.
I think the key here, and this is for any pickleballer, the key is just not to go after any balls that you don't think you can get. Just
It's not worth it.
play conservatively. This episode of Explain This is a very interesting one for me. We talked a little bit about it before we hit record, and it's about body type. Kind of talk me through that. What is that? What's the body type topic?
So it's kind of an older theory, comes really from about the 1940s. There was a psychologist, William Sheldon, that first described these three patterns of body types. So, of course, in functional medicine, we know that genetics and hormones and metabolism and lifestyle and all of that plays together to really create the interface in how our body works. But the basics of these three different body types can give you a little bit of a framework as to why your body responds certain ways to certain things. So it kind of helps us realize like why two people can do the exact same things, eat the same way, work out the same way, and get completely different results because obviously not every body is exactly the same. So understanding the framework of three different body types, the endomorph, the ectomorph, and the mesomorph can help us to change our exercise, structure our diet, do things like that that give us more of a guide in getting our body to respond the way that we want it to meet goals.
That's super interesting, and like many of our topics, I have not heard of any of those words. So
Well, the reason that I even know what this is because of my husband.
okay.
Aaron was always been really big in the fitness world, used to
Yep.
do natural bodybuilding. And so the first time I ever heard about this was from him years ago
I
when I was
love it.
complaining about how I could not put on muscle.
Mm.
And so knowing your body type explains the way that your body responds to things. So the first one on the list is the endomorph.
Okay.
So an endomorph typically has like a rounder, softer build. These are the people who tend to gain weight and put on fat a lot more easily and have a lot harder time losing it.
Okay.
So they tend to have a slower metabolism. Because of this, kind of from the functional medicine standpoint, we understand that endomorph body types tend to have more issues with blood sugar swings, maybe some reduced, insulin sufficiency, and some inflammation as well.
That is interesting. Would you be able to tell if you're that type just through like living your life? Like, oh, well, that sounds like me.
Yeah, typically, and most of the like quizzes to find out are you an endo, ecto, or mesomorph are just asking questions.
Okay.
There's tons of little online quizzes that you can do that are like, Do you gain weight easy, that sort of thing. So it's just asking questions about like key hallmark symptoms of each body type.
Okay.
Now, some people can be a little bit of crossover of two different types. But again, if we get kind of a general framework of the way that your body responds to things, it kind of puts you a little bit into one of these boxes.
Okay.
So if you are an endomorph, things that can be helpful to know here, typically nutrition wise, we have to work on, again, stabilizing blood sugar more. So lots of fiber-rich vegetables, lean protein, healthy fat, and really cutting back on any kind of refined carbohydrates.
Okay.
Endomorphs just don't tend to be able to handle those kind of foods quite as well. As far as exercise goes, endomorphs typically respond better to a lot of strength training plus cardio. So more like like the high intensity burst exercises can be really helpful, both for their metabolism and for improving insulin sensitivity.
Okay.
And then lifestyle wise, which kind of applies across the board, but good sleep and stress management. So your stress hormone cortisol can cause weight gain. So again, high cortisol levels would be an issue with endomorphs specifically.
You said high cholesterol?
High cortisol.
High cortisol. Sorry.
So stress
Okay.
hormone, yeah.
Okay.
So we want more stress management so that we don't have to deal with those high cortisol levels, adding more weight onto things.
Okay.
So we think of the endomorphs as someone whose body really wants to hold on to everything. So the key with an endomorph is kind of nudging the metabolism, getting it to stay active and balanced.
Okay. Yeah, I would imagine this type of person would, if they do work out, they're going to put on muscle pretty easy, gain weight easier. But also if they're stressed, they're probably going to gain weight in the negative way.
Yeah. So yes, with an endomorph, you definitely just put on that bad weight and hold on to it a lot easier.
Okay.
The second body type we look at is called the ectomorph. So this is the opposite end of the spectrum. Ectomorphs are naturally slim, like long, skinny legs, long, thin arms, and typically struggle to put on both muscle and fat. These are the people that it's like no matter what they do, they don't gain weight. So you burn calories really fast, usually like thyroid function, adrenal function, everything tends to be a little bit more revved up, just a higher metabolism across the board.
Okay.
So I'm more of an ectomorph. Like I have to work really, really hard to put on muscle. But on the same hand, it's also hard for me to just gain weight in general. I've just always been a naturally more thin person.
Okay.
I would definitely put your family in the ectomorph category.
Yeah.
You guys are all tall and thin. So as an ectomorph, nutrition wise, we definitely need to focus on a more calorie dense, nutrient rich foods. So your good healthy fats, your avocados, your nut butters, more of your like complex carbohydrates, starchy vegetables, whole grains. All this helps to keep energy more stable, as well as eating small, frequent meals. Everybody knows I'm always eating. It's not a good thing if I miss a meal. I definitely can have those major fluctuations, the whole getting hangry thing, like it is a very real thing. But when you have that higher metabolism, your body's burning through everything. You've got to replace frequently. Otherwise, you may see energy drops and blood sugar drops.
Okay.
Exercise wise, heavy resistance training is going to be better for your ectomorphs because we all struggle to put muscle on. So we need that heavy weightlifting to really reach those muscle goals. This is going to be preferable over like endless cardio. Too much running or high intensity work actually will cause us to lose muscle. And lifestyle, ectomorphs tend to run more on stress hormones. One comparison I saw said to think of ectomorphs as like a hummingbird, just constantly moving.
When you said hummingbird, I think of my brother. I think
Yes.
he's like picture of that. He's
Yes.
constantly going.
Always on the move.
Yes.
So, we could definitely benefit from slowing down a little bit, a little bit of
Yes.
yoga, meditation, making sure we're getting good restorative sleep, just to kind of try to calm the body down.
Yes.
But we do tend to have that fast metabolism, and we need that good nourishment in order to sustain ourselves.
Yes.
And then you have the mesomorph body type. And these are the people that everybody loves to hate because whatever goal they have for their body, it's like they meet it in 5 seconds. So these are your natural athletes. If they want to put muscle on, they put muscle on. If they want to lose fat, they lose fat. Everything just tends to come a little bit easier for those mesomorphs.
Darn mesomorphs.
I know, right? So they just naturally tend to have more muscle mass, kind of a broader build, and they just build that strength very easily.
Okay.
Their body responds really well to whatever kind of changes they choose to make. So nutrition-wise, just being balanced works well for them. Carb cycling can be really good for the mesomorphs, eating more carbs on the day that they're working out just to sustain that energy that they're burning. And they can exercise doing basically whatever they want. Strength training, cardio. You got to be consistent to get goals, but if they want to lose some weight, they can go for a couple runs and things just change.
They're like the smart people in class who don't have to study.
Exactly, right? Lifestyle wise, just steady habits are best for mesomorphs to sustain those changes that they make. But they are very adaptable. So mesomorphs can kind of go in whatever direction they want to.
Mesomorphs, you don't even need this episode.
I know, right? Just move on. You're already perfect.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
So some people can't, like I said, some people can be a blend. So you can be like an ectomesomorph, but people tend to fall a little bit more heavily into one category or another.
Okay.
And another place that these can be really beneficial is if you have body type goals. Like you look at a person and you're like, man, I want to look like them. You need to know their body type and your body type to know if that's even attainable.
Yeah.
So if you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger from the 70s and you're like, I want that muscle, it might not ever be something that is attainable based on your body type, or you may have to work 10 times harder if your body type doesn't match. So having a goal that's actually going to be achievable by finding someone who is your same body type can also be very beneficial.
I think this is actually really important to know. One, because I've experienced it. I know it sounds like you have too. It's frustrating when you can't put on muscle the way you want to, and it's also frustrating when you can't, lose weight as quickly as you might want. And I guess this kind of lends to a little more grace towards yourself, and like you said, you can tailor your workouts. Tailor the way you eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is super interesting.
A little information for people. Little interesting thing to add into your workout and care plan.
Mesomorphs.
I know.
No, mesomorphs, we love you too. This has been a really, really interesting episode, Robin. The 3 different body types. I hope somebody takes something with this, tailors their workouts, tailors their nutrition plan. Robin, is that a pod?
It is.
All right. Guys, you name it, we explain it. We will see you next time.
Don't go away.